It was offered to me after I'd wrestled in high school. ESPN documentary. An ESPN documentary was shot on me back in high school, and it showed that I was legally blind. And then the coaches saw the documentary and requested that I do Paralympic Judo, and I of course said yes. 3 days out the week is strength conditioning, and then 4 days out the week is just straight judo. I think it's the sacrifices that you make. I don't think that a lot of Americans fully understand the sacrifices that Olympians and Paralympians make when they're on their journey to compete in their sport. You're sacrificing friendships, relationships, work, school to submerge yourself in this endeavor, in this sport that you're passionate about. And a lot of times you're sacrificing your livelihood because there are a million things that you could be doing, but if you're really in love with this sport, you really want to take it somewhere and want to compete at this level, then you're gonna make a lot of sacrifices for it. You're gonna sacrifice a piece of yourself to do it, because you're sacrificing a piece of yourself, and at the same time, it sort of completes you. Continue competing at this level and loving it, and being comfortable with myself after leaving, depending on how I do in Rio or any other tournament for that matter. I want to be able to put everything I can out on a mat and be able to be comfortable with the performance that I did. It's hard to really single it out, but the biggest takeaway that I've had from a coach was back in London when I competed in London. It was my first games, and I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't really know that I even deserved to be there, and I had taken bronze that day. But after my first match, my coach told me he saw that it was a rough match. It was rough on me emotionally, physically, mentally. It was a tough match. And after the match, he told me pretty much in a nutshell that you can go home with a sympathy medal or you can go home with some hardware. Sympathy medal meaning that you can go home and you can lose and go home and just have people say, oh yeah, you did good, but whatever. They're not going to remember you. Or you can go with some hardware and shock the world.